Welcome to the Louisiana Business and Industry Show. And now, your host, Tim Johnson.
Eduardo Duvall is site leader of the Dow Chemical Company's Louisiana Operations, one of the largest petrochemical facilities in the state with more than 3,000 direct and contract employees. Eduardo began his career in 1985 at the Dow site in Brazil and has held a variety of manufacturing and business roles around the world. He earned a chemical engineering degree and a master's in administration from the Federal University of Bahia in Brazil. In late August of last year, Eduardo and Governor Jindal announced a $1 billion plan of growth for Dow in Louisiana. We'll discuss that growth and what it's like to lead a facility that is a major player in our state's economy. Eduardo Duvall joins us when we come back on the Louisiana Business and Industry Show.
The Louisiana Business and Industry Show will be back right after this.
Hi, I'm Joe Martin, president of ITI Technical College. Do you want a better life?
Get your associate's degree in occupational studies in information technology from ITI. In 2 years, you'll be on your way to a better life. You will get hands-on specialized training in computers, hardware and software, networking, and more. ITI offers flexible class schedules, and financial aid is available to those who qualify.
So don't wait. Call ITI now or go online. It's that simple.
ITI for a better life.
I'm Leighton Ricks, Livingston Parish, and Livingston Parish is on the move. One of the primary things that we ran on was developing business and jobs in Livingston Parish for our people so that we can bring obviously additional revenue to be able to support our infrastructure needs. We're going to continue to progress here in Livingston Parish. When everybody comes together, these kind of things happen. I mean, what can you say? It's absolutely awesome. It's the perfect place to be. It's where you want to be today, I can guarantee you that.
Hi, I'm Lee Burkeen with Louisiana Football TV Magazine. Be sure to watch our show every week where we have big-time recruits, college coaches, NFL players, current and former players, and call-ins with your questions. Be sure to catch us every Tuesday night at 6:30 live and 10:30 replayed on Cox 4 in Baton Rouge.
Insurance commercials have become unusually funny. We think that's strange because we take auto coverage pretty seriously at Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Of course, when you cover as many vehicles in Louisiana as we do, it doesn't leave a lot of time for silly gimmicks. We're more concerned about what happens to you on the road than any chickens that happen to cross it just to make you chuckle. Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Welcome back to the Louisiana Business and Industry Show with Tim Johnson.
Welcome back to the Louisiana Business and Industry Show. I'm pleased to have joining us as our guest today Eduardo Duvall, who is the site director of Dow's Louisiana Operations, which is their large petrochemical site in Plaquemine. Eduardo, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here.
Been on the radio show a couple of times, did great work with us there, and now you make your television debut. Dow is a global operation, huge petrochemical company with sites all over the world. So give us an idea of the scope of Dow around the world.
Okay, well, Dow is a technology and science-based company. We have a passion for innovation, and we partner with our customers to find solutions that ultimately will benefit the consumer. And we have a portfolio of businesses that are highly integrated. We have advanced materials, we have Dow AgroSciences, we have specialty chemicals, as well as specialty plastics. All those businesses together produce 6,000 products that we sold in 180 countries worldwide. The revenue in 2013 was $57 billion.
With a B,
yes,
$billion.
With the B.
Yes.
And we employ around 53,000 employees.
It's an amazing organization worldwide that has a major impact, and we'll talk more about some of the products that we make at the Louisiana Operations, the Plaquemine site, a little bit later in the show. But One of the things I always like to ask my guests, high-profile leaders in business and industry in the state, is what's your job day to day? What is it that you do? What do you focus on? How do you describe the job that Eduardo Duval does?
Well, my first priority is continues to improve environmental health and safety for our sites. And we have been doing a very good job. 3 years in a row, we have had the best performance in those areas ever. And so, but you know, in the end, it's about people. So I would say the second priority after the safety is people development and people talent retention, talent attraction, and making sure that we have a highly skilled workforce to run our assets well, therefore not only meeting the needs of our customers, but also meeting this responsibility that was given to us by the community and by the population around us.
You know, I know how passionate you are about the site, and of course the conversations that you and I have had on the radio show, and then because we've become friends and gotten to know each other a little bit outside of that as well, I know that you think very highly of the workforce and the people that exist at the Plaquemine site. So give us an idea of specifically what Dow Chemical Company looks like at its Louisiana operations.
Well, we are a site with 19 facilities, 19 plants. We employ 3,000 people between Dow employees and contractors. Our payroll is $135 million. We pay $70 million in state and local taxes. And we also buy $500 million of supplies and services from Louisiana companies.
It is amazing scope. Now, I think I read that you are the largest employer in both Iberville and West Baton Rouge Parish, because you sort of straddle the line there. And I know how important the culture of that site is to you. You mentioned your responsibilities around safety, environmental performance. And you've said to me before that you have an amazing group of employees there that really take ownership of the site. Talk about the safety, the culture at the site around productivity, environmental performance, safety, sort of what exists there and how critical that is to your operations.
You know, our site is one of the most competitive sites that Dow have worldwide. And I believe it's because of the people that we have in Plaquemine. We have this outstanding environmental health and safety performance, which is really the indicator that leads to production records, high competitiveness, and you know, the people have such a pride working there. They have such a upbeat culture. This can-do attitude is great. And I believe that it has to do with the Louisiana culture. Okay? I see this outside as I go through my bucket list in Louisiana to go to visit the places here. But the site is a great place to work. It's a place that you wake up in the morning and you're looking forward to engage with the people and really work together and continue to develop the friendships while you are making that site even more competitive, even more profitable to the company, and even more, I would say, a responsible citizen to the state.
We've got about 2 minutes left in this segment, and that's always been an interesting part of the conversations that you and I have had, is what makes Louisiana such a special place culturally and from a joy of life perspective and from a productivity standpoint, our work ethic. And there are a lot of similarities in South Louisiana from a cultural perspective to your homeland in Brazil,
yes,
right? And you found that. And as you go around the state, talk about some of those similarities that you've seen between the culture, the joy of life, and the way people live.
Yes. You know, here as well as in my hometown, okay, in Brazil, people work hard, but they really have the perspective to enjoy life while they're working hard. Okay? You know, those... I love street parties, and they have many. We have many in Louisiana.
It's a daily street party in the city of New Orleans.
Exactly. Right? And so this friendship, this the way that we receive people that comes from other countries and other states. Like, for example, when I came initially from Texas to here, and I was extremely well received. Very quickly I felt at home, and I felt part of the team. So this is embracing culture is a very real competitive advantage for Louisiana, and specifically for the Plaquemine side.
It's an amazing place. Now we've announced some pretty major expansion, and we're going to take a break. We come back, I want to talk about that expansion and maybe what's on the horizon at the Dow Louisiana Operations. We're visiting with Eduardo Doval. He's the Site Director of Dow Louisiana Operations, and you're watching the Louisiana Business and Industry Show on Cox 4.
The Louisiana Business and Industry Show will be back right after this.
I go to work every day, and I love doing what I'm doing, and I love being a part of Livingston Parish, and to be elected sheriff, to be able to lead Livingston Parish Sheriff's Office is just such an honor for me. And so I'm very excited about not only where we're at today, but where we're going to be at in the future. The parish is so special to the citizens. They work with the Sheriff's Office, they trust the Sheriff's Office. Our community stands behind us 100%, and they get involved. They don't want crime in Livingston Parish.
At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete in everyone, from the Grand Slam hitter to grandparents. If your doctor prescribes physical therapy, ask for Peak Performance by name, getting you back in the game of life.
Hello, I'm Eric Edwards with the Livingston Parish Convention and Visitors Bureau. Find out now what's going on in Livingston Parish. We have over 400 nautical miles of waterways. Tee it up at our great world-renowned golf courses. Shop at our antique districts, or come to Bass Pro, our #1 retailer. There's a lot to do in Livingston Parish that you never imagined. It's all happening right here in Livingston Parish. For more information, go online at visitlivingstonparish.com.
At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete in everyone, from the three-point shooter to the three-piece suit. If your doctor prescribes physical therapy, ask for Peak Performance by name, getting you back in the game of life.
Welcome back to the Louisiana Business and Industry Show with Tim Johnson.
Welcome back to the Louisiana Business and Industry Show. I'm your host, Tim Johnson. We're having a great conversation with my friend Eduardo Doval, who is the Site Director of Dow Louisiana Operations, their big petrochemical plant in Plaquemine, Louisiana. Eduardo, before the break, you kind of gave us an overview of Dow as a global operation of the site in Plaquemine, Louisiana Operations. I want to talk a little bit about your community involvement, because you guys have done a great job contributing and giving back to not just the community that you're in, Iberville and West Baton Rouge Parish, but to the state as a whole. Let me name some of the things you guys have done. And this is just a partial list. Stacy Chasson, your public affairs director, very involved in a lot of these things. $1 million to build a new West Side campus of the Louisiana Community and Technical College System in Plaquemine to help train individuals to work in your plant. $2 million donation to the LSU School of Engineering. Engineers a critical need for the petrochemical industry. Another $1 million to the School of Engineering at Louisiana Tech. So you guys have been great community partners, very involved, willing to give back. Speak to the commitment that Dow has to the communities where it operates and to the state as a whole.
You know, we have a long-term relationship with Louisiana, and in general, every location that we are, we develop ties. We want to be a very responsible citizen, and we want to be part of the solution. And definitely, workforce is one of the challenges for the states, especially with all this growth that's coming as a result of the shale gas. So instead of just being on talking about, we are doing something about. And this partnership is just not only the money. We are engaged on improving curriculums.
In fact, that might even, that part may be more even important than the money, right? The engagement. Talk about that.
Yeah, we just host a STEM initiative in Plaquemine, where students went through this test to show their acumen, their knowledge, and this was part of this STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math initiative, which we are very engaged, not only locally, but also at the national level. So Dow has been a very consistent citizen in reaching out to our community, our officials, and partners to find solutions that's good for us and good for the communities.
Not just putting your money where your mouth is, so to speak, but putting your talents and your efforts and your experience in there to assist as well. Now, obviously workforce going forward is going to be a big issue for all of the petrochemical industry, and there's a lot of work going on there. But to switch gears on you a little bit, one of the things I think is critically important for the industry to do, and you and I have had this conversation a number of times as well, is to connect what you do to the daily lives of the average citizen of the state of Louisiana. As a person who doesn't work in industry, I can drive by these plants every day, and what I see is gates, and I'll see stacks and pumps and equipment and piping. But I think about it in terms of an industrial site, but not necessarily the impact and the products and the things that I may use daily. So let's talk about what you make in Plaquemine and how I might end up seeing it in my daily life. How does it make my life better?
Yeah. Well, let's go to something that's very dear to all of us, okay, water quality. So we make products that really make the water acceptable to be drunk. And we have a series of products that come from the specialty plastics that is everywhere, okay? If you go into a car, is today 30% of the car. If you have a cell phone in your hand,
a computer.
You do a computer. You do have some specialty plastics that are covering the metal parts of that circuit. So we are in the electronic industry, we are in the telecommunication industry, products that are produced in Plaquemine. We are in the pharmaceutical industry. One of our products, when you take a pill, the medicine is not the whole pill. The pill has this volume,
wrapper, right?
This wrapper where so this white cellulose that you drink when you take the pill is produced in Plaquemine. So we have very stringent controls from the Federal Drug Administration on this. And
it really is amazing if you think about the number of things that you produce and all the various operations at that site that we may take for granted. You know, you think about what you just talked about. If I take a pill, that medicine is contained in a cellulose packing that allows me to take it and swallow it and then dissolves. And it's all tested, as you say, by the Food and Drug Administration. Plastics, our automobiles are made better. Our water is made cleaner. Our computers and our electronics are made more efficient by the things you guys do, you and your employees do right there in Plaquemine. It must be, from your personal perspective, pretty rewarding to work in a site that, number one, has such great people, and number two, makes products that are so critical not just to the economy but to our daily lives.
Oh, definitely. When you understand the context that you are part of, that you are not just making a living, you are making a significant contribution to society. The job have a different dimension. And I think that the motivation, the inner motivation that this brings to me, as well as to my co-workers in the site, really makes a huge difference in our attitude going to work and attitude doing the right things that we need to do there.
And the teamwork is really evident if you get a chance to visit the site. We're going to take another break. And we mentioned going into the last break that you guys have announced about $1 billion worth of expansion in Louisiana. You and Governor Jindal did that in late August, I think, of last year. So I want to get into some detail about that expansion. We're visiting with Eduardo Duvall. He's the Site Director of Dow Louisiana Operations, and you're watching the Louisiana Business and Industry Show on Cox 4.
The Louisiana Business and Industry Show will be back right after this.
Hi, I'm Lieber Keane with Louisiana Football TV Magazine. Be sure to watch our show every week where we have big-time recruits, college coaches, NFL players, current and former players, and call-ins with your questions. Be sure to catch us every Tuesday night at 6:30 live and 10:30 replayed on Cox 4 in Baton Rouge.
Hi, I'm Joe Martin, president of ITI Technical College. Do you want a better life?
Get your associate's degree in occupational studies in information technology from ITI. In 2 years, you'll be on your way to a better life. You will get hands-on specialized training in computers, hardware and software, networking, and more. ITI offers flexible class schedules, and financial aid is available to those who qualify.
So don't wait. Call ITI now or go online. It's that simple.
ITI for a better life.
At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete in everyone, from the soccer star to the soccer mom. If your doctor prescribes physical therapy, ask for Peak Performance by name, getting you back in the game of life.
Insurance commercials have become unusually funny. We think that's strange because we take auto coverage pretty seriously at Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Of course, when you cover as many vehicles in Louisiana as we do, it doesn't leave a lot of time for silly gimmicks. We're more concerned about what happens to you on the road than any chickens that happen to cross it just to make you chuckle. Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete in everyone, from long drivers to unlucky drivers. If your doctor prescribes physical therapy, ask for Peak Performance by name, getting you back in the game of life.
Welcome back to the Louisiana Business and Industry Show with Tim Johnson.
Welcome back to the Louisiana Business and Industry Show. We're visiting with Eduardo Duval. He is the Site Director of Dow Louisiana Operations. And Eduardo, Dow is like a lot of other petrochemical companies in this state, looking at growth and taking advantage of the opportunities that exist. In late August of last year, you and Governor Jindal announced about $1 billion worth of expansions that are coming to Louisiana operations. Give us some detail about that expansion and what we might see happening out there over the next 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. You know, we are very proud of this achievement. It shows the competitiveness of the site. We run the site well. We have great logistics capabilities. We have a very highly skilled workforce. And this is being seen by the company. We have a government that is pro-business. So when you put all of this together, this site becomes a very strong candidate for investment. And we receive $1.1 billion of capital investment that we are in a process to implement as quick as we can, because you know the shale gas is giving us this opportunity that we need to seize. And but in a nutshell, it's 2 specialty plastics plants that has a world scale, which means very large, and we are also not only improving the flexibility, but also the capacity of one of our ethylene crackers, which is feedstock for those 2 specialty new units. Right. So, and the technology that we are using is cutting-edge technology. The kind of products that we are going to be making there are the ones who has the more complex application, the high-tech applications. And what this translates to us is that make our site even more competitive, because we are already the largest Dow site, the largest producer of specialty plastics in the Dow world. Well, with those 2 facilities, we consolidate even more this position, which creates a huge competitiveness for the site, which in the end of the day is what we're going to maintain the jobs and we'll create new jobs.
And as you say, allow you to grow more in the future. It's interesting to me when you think about what truly is a global economy now, that Dow could take this capital, this $1.1 billion, and really deploy it anywhere in the world. That could have gone to Freeport, Texas. It could have gone to Midland, Michigan. It could have gone to Singapore or India or China or anywhere around the world. But because of the people and the culture and the competitiveness and the productivity, of the site in Plaquemine, you guys were able to show that this was the best place to invest that capital for long-term results. And you and I have talked about a couple of things. So many advantages that the site has: available land, good logistics. What needs to happen for this all to go forward and to be this growth to be sustained?
Yes. Well, one of the things we already cover, which is the continued development of a highly skilled workforce to not only build but also operate those new facilities. Another area is the area of land transportation. Infrastructure. We do have very good access to the river. The Port of New Orleans is really doing really well. Our rail capabilities are really very well. We are very competitive in those areas, but when it comes to land transportation, LA1 the traffic is very congested. The bridge on I-10 is extremely congested. The intercoastal bridge. So this infrastructure is creating not only additional costs for our logistics, but also creates problems in retaining employees, because some employees are really deciding, well, not to take the job.
Too tough to get to and from work.
From work, okay. So we have been, like I said, we always engage with the authorities. We have been engaging with the local parish authorities as well as the government to elevate this issue to a strategic level, because it is strategic to us, and I believe that should be strategic for the government, because not only impacts Dow, but impacts all the companies that is around Baton Rouge.
You and I have had this conversation before that Louisiana leads in so many areas: school reform, workforce development, incentives, pro-government, pro-business government. A lot of the things, the business climate is among the best in the country now. But one of the places we've really fallen behind is, as you say, land transportation, that infrastructure, our system of bridges and roads and highways. And so I hope that you do keep the pressure on the authorities. Tell us what else is on the horizon for Dow Louisiana Operations. Okay,
well, besides implementing those projects, we are certifying a site across the LA1. The site is meant to attract advanced materials facilities and customers that will use our product to further transformation. So that is the new growth for Louisiana Operations.
Even more potential expansion. Eduardo Duval, thank you for joining us, everybody. We'll have you back sometime soon.
Thank you.
That's a wrap, guys. Thank you for joining us for this edition of the Louisiana Business and Industry Show. Join us next week at this very same time.